Hey guys, thank you for coming to my MPA 510 Week 2 presentation. I hope you are all having a good week so far. For my article pieces that I wanted to discuss, I will be going over Max Weber's Bureaucracy, Leonard D. White, and Introduction to the Study of Public Administration, Mary Parker Foyer, The Chaos of Orders, and Morton Grodzin's The American Systems. Max Weber's bureaucracy article was extremely interesting because it could be broken up into parts. Um, the first part was the characteristics of a bureaucracy, which was further broken down into sections. These sections included the official duties of a bureaucracy, hierarchy, policy and procedure, management, and the work capacity. The section that I found most interesting was the hierarchy section, where he states, and it's on the PowerPoint for reference. But in summary, he states that there exists the principle of office hierarchy and levels of authority, where you have the higher levels of authority um, working with the lower offices under supervision in a system that affords the regulation opportunity of those governed to appeal decisions to its superior. So in thinking of the jobs I've had, whether it be my first job working at Ralph's as a cashier or working in law enforcement, there has always been a system of hierarchy where you have command staff leading management and supervision down to floor personnel, line personnel, or in the field. And this hierarchy is what keeps the system in place. It allows the workplace to be efficient and to get the job done. And I found it most interesting that, Max Weber wrote this article many years ago, and it is something that I believe, I know that we're still using today, but I also believe that it is something that's going to continue to dictate um, our workplace. And many people see bureaucracy as just inefficient and ineffective, but on the contrary, if it wasn't for this bureaucracy system that we have, we would not get work done as government employees. Leonard D. White wrote the book Introduction to the Study of Public Administration. In this book, he discusses the principles, the theories, initiative, and responsibilities, as well as other topics having to do with public administration. Um, the article or the section that I found most interesting was page 69 and 70, where it kind of talks about the history of public administration and where it's going, and he provides an example of public administration. He states the objective of public administration is the most efficient utilization of the resources at the disposal of officials and employees. Um, the example that he uses is the health department, where he states employees walk in at 9 a.m., they begin to answer phone calls, they start their inspections, they're typing up reports, they're analyzing samples, as command staff is also dealing with the mayor, city council, and members of the public. Um, he stated that this was pretty much a standard form of public administration as it should be run. The area that I found most interesting, though, was where he states that this task isn't something new. It's something that has always been here since the Age of Kings, when they had to involve themselves in military affairs, finances, and they were trying to carry out the same objectives as we are today in antiquity. And he states that what differentiates the modern public official from the scribe of antiquity is the marvelous material equipment with which he works and the contribution which science has made and continues to make to his profession. And what I got out of this, what I found most interesting, was that public administration is here to stay. Public administration has been here in the past, it is here in the present, and it is going to be here in the future to operate and run government. It is just evolving into different shapes or forms. with different tools at our disposal. Article number 3, which I found interesting, was Mary Parker Follett, where she discusses management operations. Um, when she wrote this article, it was kind of different to the train of thought for that time period. She stated that on page 79 was that it was generally common for supervisors and management to just give out orders without any reason or basis why. And because of that, it kind of built, um, I guess, a feeling of resentment with employees. So she stated that, and if you can see on the PowerPoint, her solution is to depersonalize the giving of orders, to unite all concerned in a study of the situation and obey that. One person should not give orders to another person, but both should agree to take the orders from the situation. And this reminded me of a time when I worked at the probation department. At the probation department, I had two supervisors who did things quite differently. My first supervisor um, pretty much just showed up to work and started barking orders that were kind of difficult to understand why, and the reasoning wasn't quite there for us. Um, and this supervisor only lasted for about 8 or 9 months until we were assigned a new supervisor. Now, when this supervisor started, every single morning he would have a briefing or a staffing meeting, and we would go over data, statistics, um, and we would morph our game plan for the week to see what issues we were going to address in terms of how we were going to address substance abuse issues that was on the rise, or violent crimes or gang crimes that were on the rise. And coming up together as a team, coming up with the plan, um, made us more involved. And when we were in the field, we had more of an understanding of why we were doing the job that we needed to do. And in the end, our productivity rose up substantially. And yeah, so I think Mary Parker Follett definitely had a good idea, and her hindsight, or her visual ability to see how this would be carried out, I think is something that could help serve us in the future. An article that I found truly interesting, and I felt did a good job of showcasing federalism, was a article by Morton Grodzins, where he speaks about how there are 92,000 tax levying governments within the United States, including 37,000 school districts, 18,000 cities, and 3,000 counties. An example he gave was Park Forest Falls in the state of Illinois, which was under the jurisdiction of 11 governments. This included the federal government, the state, the county, the city, the school district, I believe the water board, and special districts. All these governments are responsible for each other through cooperative federalism. There, there is no neat division between responsibilities. Nearly all responsibilities are shared in one way or another. For example, the school district that he spoke about, it received federal funding through grants, yet it was responsible for carrying out goals that were set by the state while receiving assistance from the city. So there was no clean and clear cut just individual responsibility for different sections of government. They all intertwine. And it kind of made me wonder, with so many governments, how is this truly as efficient as we can be? Does this and help us be productive in terms of work? And I don't know, like, I don't know if this is truly as good as it can be. If we could, break things down further, I just thought that was a lot of governments, throughout the United States. But I really enjoyed this article because it really put things into perspective for me. Thank you for listening to my video. I hope you all have a great week ahead.